Well, apparently Elizabeth Holmes was deathly afraid of needles too. This is one of the reasons why she got focused on this. And sure, it would have been amazing. And she dazzled all these older guys. Our former Secretary of State George Shultz was on the board, and James Mattis. And Arthur, what the prosecution is alleging is there's a reason she had all these military guys on the board instead of medical people, right? Because they didn't know anything about medicine.
Right. And she was look, she was a master marketer. There's no doubt about that. And one of her big angles was, besides civilians walking into Walmart and getting results instantly, it was all about the military. Oh, we'll be able to carry this little Thomas Edison box onto planes and onto MASH units and get immediate results for the military. And that never happened. In her deposition, she's asked, did that ever take place? No, but she sold it. She sold it like it was going to take place.
Yeah, she told investors something very different. And John Carreyrou, who broke the story wide open, he's really the reason her whole company started falling apart. He's of the Wall Street Journal. He did the book Bad Blood, which became a podcast, which I recommend to everybody. But anyway, he talked about that too, about how one of her big selling points was to say, oh, the military's using Edison in my products. And, you hear the military's using it. You're like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty good. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And here she is in her deposition admitting the truth. Listen.
How many tests could it run at that time in 2010?
I don't know exactly what the number was. There was probably tens of tests.
So when you say tens of tests, you mean something less than 100?
Yes.
Is Theranos' technology deployed in emergency rooms, hospitals, and provider offices?
No.
Was a Theranos manufactured device ever deployed in the battlefield?
No.
Was it ever deployed in a medevac helicopter?
No.
Mark, that's not good.
No, but listen, you ready? The key for me in this case is, what do the emails show? The same way it's in the Gabby Petito case, what does the body show? In this case, what are the emails? There's got to be thousands of emails, which they've obtained, where it'll either show when somebody's saying, hey, this isn't working the way it's supposed to, what's her response? She doesn't know anything about the science, right? She was born and raised. She didn't have a language. She was given a language. She learned a little bit about some things over the years in her life. She's not an expert. So she's being told certain things. What do the emails show?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Arthur, because let me tee this up for you, because here's what they're already starting to say. How is what she did any different than what any entrepreneur in Silicon Valley does, where they overstate, it's puffery, right? Like, yeah, we're amazing. Yeah, we're totally going to revolutionize the world. Give me your money. How is it different?
Because there's this invisible line that we all cross or don't cross in so many areas, especially of the law. But Mark, when you say she's not an expert in this, you have to become an expert in this if this is your life. And au contraire, she prided herself on, she only kept bottled water in her refrigerator. She slept 4 hours a night, and she wore the same thing. They asked her, what's your favorite place to go to? She's like, my office. Oh, so she held herself out. Definitely as an expert in this, and as her expertise after putting together her medical team, she's now telling these billionaire old men, look, I have basically figured out what was her line, Megyn? She's like, not to let people leave too soon. That was her thing in all of her.
Here's the question. Yeah, I know that's what she's saying, but garbage in, garbage out. What is she being told? What's she being told?
But she's the COO. She's the boss.
She's CEO.
She's the one. The buck stops there. Sorry, the CEO. I apologize.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me, hold on. Let's say I start some type of business. I get experts around me, right? They're telling me something that they created, that we've created, does X, Y, and Z. I, as the CEO, puffing what they do, bringing us some real money, I say, this is what it does. Turns out it doesn't do that. There's a difference between civil liability and criminal liability. That's why I say I want to see the smoking gun.
Okay.
Evidence.
But wait, here's the smoking gun. The smoking gun is when they started doing the tests, when they were testing her tests in regular labs, the results were wrong. So once that happens, you have to immediately alert the shareholders, immediately alert your board of directors, and immediately fix the problem. These are people's lives that we're talking about here. Do you have AIDS? Don't you have AIDS? Do you have cancer? Don't you have cancer? You have to immediately pull the plug, and that's where it goes from being civil to criminal, because she didn't do that.